An apartment explosion leaves 1 hospitalized and 7 displaced, how the collapse is affecting local residents. A Shawnee music event starts up again, bringing more than locals together. And in sports, one Ohio team is celebrating after its 2nd playoff win. Newswatch starts right now.
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
The investigation continues tonight into what caused a local building to partially collapse. Good evening, I'm Lily Bradley. Thanks for joining us. Newswatch reporter Josh Gregory was one of the first on the scene and has been following this story since it broke. Josh joins us now live on West Union Street with the latest. Josh?
Lily, while the state fire marshal and Columbia Gas continue to investigate the scene, local officials say an explosion is the cause of all this damage you see.
I got a call from my room, a classmate who lives like 2 doors down. He just called me on Facebook or messaged me on Facebook. He's like, "Hey, are you alive?"
Bennis Pavisian says he's lucky to be alive after his apartment building partially collapsed yesterday.
I might be walking on borrowed time right now, just because, at least health-wise, you know, something could have happened.
The incident injured 1 and displaced 7 Ohio University students. The condition of the student, transported to O'Blinas Memorial Hospital, has not been released, though many witnesses reported he had mild to severe burns. Athens Fire Chief Robert Reimer is estimating about $150,000 worth of damage to the building that also houses Cycle-Path bicycles.
All my furniture is obviously destroyed, my computer, my books, my med school books, my stethoscope, all that stuff is pretty much gone.
Reimer believes it was an explosion that caused roughly 25 or 50% of the building to collapse.
From the evidence that we received from the initial call, the sound, as well as the evidence of what the scene looks like when we were down there, the fire marshal's office is, I believe, under the understanding that it's an explosion.
As investigators keep looking for answers, Bennis is looking for a place to live for the remainder of the semester.
Do you know where you're going to stay tonight?
I'm still at the hotel for one more night, and then I don't know.
Ohio University Media Relations Manager Dan Pittman says the university is in the process of providing food, clothing, and shelter for all those affected by the incident. Live in Athens for Newswatch, I'm Josh Gregory.
Thanks, Josh. Be sure to tune in to WUB tonight for the premiere of What Lies Upstream, an investigation documentary examining the loss of clean water for over 300 Americans. Back in January of 2014, West Virginians noticed their tap water had a peculiar smell. It was soon discovered that a mysterious chemical had leaked into the Elk River from a damaged tank at a nearby chemical plant, poisoning the drinking water supply for nearly half the state's citizens. The film's premieres tonight on WUB at 10 p.m.
Welcome into the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm your forecaster, Blake Hardesty. If you go out and about around the town tonight, you're going to experience some slight snow flurries and possibly some snow showers as you go about your evening, as some snow begins to move out into the area. If you take a look behind me, we're looking at temperatures around 41 degrees around the Athens area. Under cloudy skies, we are going to be under a freeze warning tonight, and that goes into effect at 10 p.m. tonight and goes until 10 a.m. tomorrow. It's going to be breezy evening tonight with winds out of the west at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Looking around the region tonight, we're looking at 40 degrees in New Martinsville, 41 Marietta, 41 here in Athens, and 39 over in Cambridge. As we go hour by hour tonight, looking at 8 p.m., those temperatures are going to start to cool off. Looking at 38 degrees by 8 p.m. under cloudy skies. That temperature begins to drop down to 33 degrees by midnight, nearing freezing, and 32 by 4 a.m. So Lily, I don't know about you, but you might want to grab a jacket if you go out and about tomorrow.
That weekend weather was a tease. Thanks, Blake. After a long winter, it's finally starting to look a bit like spring, even if it was just a taste over the weekend. But the small town of Shawnee in Perry County took advantage of the beautiful weekend to throw their street festival, Shawnee's Second Saturday. Lauren Ramoser was there to celebrate with the locals. Take a look.
The little town of Shawnee in the middle of Wayne National Forest started their season of running Shawnee's Second Saturday. Live music by the non-members and vendors inside the Campsie Theater opened the first second Saturday this past weekend.
But I think what happens is that people come out because they're sick of being inside all day long and they want to get out and see some of their neighbors and their friends. So there is something to do, there's some things to, there's always good food here.
But not only local residents came to enjoy the Saturday, there were also some people from out of town. But rainy weather threatened the plans for this weekend.
We got a little bit of rain, but I don't think it kept too many away.
The festival was supposed to be on the historic Main Street, but the rain turned the plans upside down.
Our next Saturday, our entertainment is Haley Watson. Our food truck will be Jory's out of New Lax.
The next Shawnee Second Saturday will be on May 12th, hopefully with even better weather.
The city of Shawnee is currently renovating Tecumseh Theater on Main Street. Once the renovations are complete, community officials say there will be even more events planned in the future. Ohio University police say they are looking for an unknown suspect in a rape case. A female student reported that she was raped by Brown Hall Saturday between the hours of 11:30 p.m. and 1 a.m. the next morning. If you have any information, you're asked to contact OUPD. 3 months later, ECOT's closing is still impacting students. This story and more when Newswatch returns.
We are here for the same reason, although I suspect we hope for different results.
You know what they say, yeah, the wicked get no rest.
I do not admire you for this.
Looking at my heart, in a place,
It's always sex, isn't it?
got so much to lose.
Love.
So much to prove.
For judgment.
We are not amused.
God.
Trouble on my left, trouble on my right. I've been facing trouble on my side.
This is how you'll be a man.
Are you becoming squeamish?
Oh, God, your mother's here.
The lesbians. They're getting married. You're having a great time.
God, don't let me lose
Yes.
my mind.
Come and play with us.
Onward and onward!
Good ideas open up a whole new world of possibilities.
The more you know about history, the more you know about yourself.
The sky's the limit.
Anywhere I go, there you are.
Imagine one morning your child is getting what you consider a quality online education and they're happy. But the next morning it's gone and they no longer have a school to attend. That's what happened to thousands of students in the Electronic School of Tomorrow, better known as ECOT. Newswatch reporter Matt Legritz tells us more on how parents, teachers, and students are still searching for answers nearly 3 months later.
I don't believe that I ever thought that they would actually shut ECOT down, especially, after the first semester going into the second.
Joni Harper is a proud online school parent of a freshman and an 8th grade student. Her daughters Twyla and Becca Meehan started attending online school this year. When Harper first learned ECOT was shutting down, she was heartbroken.
I believe that they have been wronged, and and we've been wronged. My daughters have been wronged. I mean, this has been so emotionally devastating.
And Twyla and Becca were irritated.
It was really annoying because, I had finally caught up, with everything because, it was kind of confusing going to a new school and everything. So I finally caught up, and then they said that, you know, they're going to stop the whole school system. So that kind of messed up my whole like schedule.
Twyla and Becca are now enrolled at a new online school. ECOT started out in 2000 as an online community school. It was Ohio's first online school to provide free education options for kindergartners all the way through high school. Its first graduating class was 21 students, and by 2013 had a graduating class of more than 2,500. As of 2016, ECOT said its enrollment was roughly 15,000 students. ECOT's sudden closure in January left these thousands of students and teachers wondering, what's next? Mount Sterling resident Laura McNamara worked at ECOT for 15 years as a teacher and administrator.
I'm very passionate about education. You know, knowledge can help you make better decisions in your life, and we need to help kids, and those that are hurting are the ones we have to reach out and try even harder for, and that's what we did at ECOT, and I was proud to be an ECOT employee.
McNamara says finding a new job hasn't been easy.
I am unemployed, and so I am drawing unemployment and applying for jobs every week.
McNamara worked in public schools until she started having autoimmune system issues that forced her to make a serious career adjustment.
I was going to have to go on disability retirement or find something else, and I'm just so thankful I was able to stay in education.
When ECOT started back in 2000, the Ohio Department of Education had to create a system to review how online schools would receive funding compared to a regular public school. It wasn't until 2003 the state and ECOT reached a funding agreement which was based on the enrollment of students at the beginning of the school year. The agreement also required ECOT to offer 920 hours of learning opportunities, which meant anything from just logging into a class online to going on a field trip to the zoo. The state and ECOT got into a battle that ended in the state Supreme Court. The battle was over more than $80 million that the state wanted back from ECOT. The Education Department's attorney Douglas Cole argued there should be more criteria to determine funding.
Mr. Teeters, as I said, the superintendent of ECOT, testified that at the previous e-school that he worked at, every day when a student logged on, the first thing they had to do was list for the day before how many hours they had participated the day before in education. So this isn't a foreign concept, the notion that schools may want to keep track of how many hours students are actually participating in order to verify that they're getting an education.
From 2003 to 2015, the state paid ECOT based on enrollment. So even if a student never logged into any online class but was registered, ECOT got paid for providing that student with an education. So in 2015, the state wanted to start paying ECOT based on student participation instead of just enrollment. By that measure, the state claimed ECOT could be paid for educating only 6,300 of its 15,000 plus students, and the state wanted the other $80 million back. ECOT attorney Marion Little says it's not ECOT that broke the law, but the Department of Education changing the rules.
Back in 2016, during the middle of the school year, the Department of Education announced new standards by which our funding would be determined. These were completely different standards that had been applied for the prior 13 years.
The state says almost 2/3 of ECOT students were not actively participating in online courses. What did ECOT do to make sure that this student got back on track?
What I would do as a teacher is I would call my students. Once they got to 5 days, then we had a truancy office that kicked in, and then so we had things in place between the 1 day and 30 days with counselors calling, teachers calling, resource people in the office, truancy department calling. There was lots of support there trying to get them back on, whether it was calling, whether it was emailing, texting, getting a hold of parents, not just students, but parents. There were a lot of things in place to try to, get that student re-engaged.
After 2 lower court rulings against ECOT on February 13th, the Ohio Supreme Court heard the final arguments in the case of ECOT versus the Ohio Department of Education. ECOT argued that they hadn't violated any law and that they shouldn't have to pay back any money. It stressed that funding was based strictly on enrollment because of the 2003 agreement. In court, Chief Justice O'Connor and ECOT's attorney Marion Little had an argument where it was very clear that they did not agree on the issue.
Okay, let me ask you about the quote that was given to us that at the testimony was, even if a student does not attend, ECOT is still entitled to the full per capita.
That would be the testimony of all witnesses under an enrollment methodology. If enrollment is the test, subject to the 105-hour rule, that's how it results. But
okay, let me ask you, stop. How is that not absurd?
We reached out to Justice O'Connor, but her associates say she can't comment on an ongoing case. The Department of Education also declined to comment for the same reason, but did provide us with an email statement. Due to ongoing litigation, we'll have to decline the interview. However, it would be helpful if in your story you could please encourage any remaining families looking for new schools to contact the department or their districts of residence. ECOT's attorney Marion Little was willing to talk to us. He says the Ohio Supreme Court is ECOT's final chance to win.
If the courts don't provide its relief at this point in time, then ECOT will close permanently.
Becca, Twyla, and their mother hope that won't happen and would jump at the opportunity to go back.
It's just been devastating. And Becca working so hard, getting caught up, and that I would, even though we would be starting all over, I would still go back.
I miss the people at ECOT and the teachers the most, but I mean, the school we're going to right now is okay. But I mean, if I had the chance to go back to ECOT, I would.
Now, for more information on that story, head to our website, woub.org. This year's Boston Marathon winner is making history again. That story still ahead.
And we're under a freeze warning by the National Weather Service going into effect tonight till 10 a.m. tomorrow. But we're going to have some snow showers passing through this area, as well as some return of some warmer temperatures here next couple of days. I'll have more details on that when Newswatch returns.
I don't mind saying it.
Now you look like an astronaut.
My dream is to walk on the moon.
2, 1.
Look at this place.
It's a crazy design.
It's nearly impossible.
What is the next step toward furthering our presence in the cosmos?
That was something. Oh, this is incredible.
Very, very scary.
Reality is always more unbelievable than anything we could have imagined.
We're literally on the cutting edge.
Unreal.
Hi, I'm Hari Srinivasan from the PBS NewsHour.
And I'm Mark Brewer from WOUB.
Join me on PBS NewsHour and PBS NewsHour Weekend for the latest news and analysis of the issues that matter most to you.
Weeknights at 7 p.m. and Sundays at 5 right here on WOUB Public Media.
Welcome into Newswatch Weather Center. I'm your forecaster, Blake Courtesy. We're looking at some possible snow showers as you go around the Athens area tonight. Temperature-wise, we're looking at 41 degrees under cloudy skies. We do have a freeze warning in effect going into effect tonight at 10 p.m. and that goes into tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. as well, as we have some really cold temperatures, unseasonably cold temperatures for this time of year. And we have winds out of the west at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So it's pretty chilly evening out there today. 41 right here in Athens as we look around the region right now. 42 is our one spot down in Ripley, 41 in Ironton, and 39 up in Cambridge under mostly cloudy skies for most of the region. Today we reached a high of 48 degrees early this morning and have a low of 37 degrees. A normal today is 65, so generally below normal. That's part of that freeze warning that the National Weather Service has issued going on. And we have 41 degrees for our normal low today. As we look around the precipcast for tonight, we have this low pressure system that's moving off to the northeast. That's bringing a little bit of the snow showers you're seeing into tonight, and it's a little bit into tomorrow as this begins to rotate down into the Ohio Valley region. I would look at weather for tonight. NASA's looking at 32 degrees for our low tonight. Again, that freeze warning will go into effect to make sure you cover any plants that you may have planted outside already. Those would be damaged in that freezing temperature, and winds continue out of the west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Looking at hour by hour tonight, we're looking at 38 degrees by 8 p.m. Temperatures begin to drop with flurries continuing throughout the evening. 33 by midnight and 32 down by 4 a.m. tomorrow. So a very chilly day, chilly evening into the overnight hours. And looking around the region tonight, 31 here in Athens and 32 again in one spot down in Ripley. 33 in Columbus and 31 in Cambridge. So generally really cold evening as we go about tonight. So if you're going out at any point tonight, make sure you grab that jacket as you go about your night. 8 a.m. looking at 32 degrees for that bus stop for those kids. 32 degrees up by 8 a.m. 38 by noon. Those winds are going to be gusting about 15 miles per hour. As we go into 4 p.m. look at 46 degrees. So slightly warmer evening. As we go into tomorrow for Athens, look at 47 degrees. Under cloudy skies, again, those flurries will be passing through the area. It's going to be windy and gusty, so make sure you grab that jacket as you go out, as we have 10, 15 miles per hour winds. As we look for the region tomorrow, high temperatures 47 degrees here in Athens, 48 in Ripley, and a warm spot down in Ironton and 52 degrees. Nice cloudy skies. As we go through the day, through the next week, looking at 64 returns on Wednesday. Lots of sunshine returns by your weekend, looking at 57 here on Friday. 62 on Saturday, so we're making it up for a very nice weekend.
It's great to hear, Blake. Hi, I'm Thomas Garbrick. After the break, Danielle Stein and Alex Day were dominant for the Ohio softball team over the weekend. Find out if they were too much for the Akron Zips to overcome. And playoff action for the Cavs and the Blue Jackets, but only one of them came out victorious. Highlights of both games later on when Newswatch returns.
Feel my face anymore.
You're doing good. You're just a little slow.
Welcome to madness. I'm expecting the unexpected.
The chicken feet really put me in a foul mood.
Join us for Family Ingredients Season 2.
Show me your mayonnaise, and I'll tell you who you are. I can't wait to have a taste.
Now that's crispy.
Hello, I'm Paula Kerger, president of PBS. I'd like to tell you about a terrific new membership benefit called PBS Passport. With a qualifying donation, Passport brings more than 1,000 hours of great PBS and local programming to your computer, phone, or digital media player. You can catch up on shows you may have missed or revisit some of your favorites. The best part is that you can watch whenever you want. When you make your qualifying donation, you'll help to make all of the programs you love on this station possible, so don't delay. I know that you're going to love PBS Passport, so please make that donation right now, and thank you for your support.
Welcome back. I'm Thomas Garbrick, and let's talk about what ended up being an up and down weekend for some of Ohio's top teams. But it was all smiles for one of them. And get out your brooms, because the Ohio softball team swept the Akron Zips over the weekend. Senior ace Danielle Stein was a strikeout machine on the mound. In 2 starts, 11 innings, 12 punch-outs, 4 hits, but most importantly, no runs. That set the stage for Alex Day and the offense to explode. She went 6 for 10 in the series, drove in 6 runs, and hit her team-leading 11th home run in the team's 12-0 win yesterday. The Cats take their hot bats to Columbus tomorrow for a doubleheader with the Buckeyes. First pitch slated for 3 p.m. The Ohio baseball team wishes it could be blowing past its opponents like the softball team, but their last 4 games have been decided by a combined 5 runs. 3 of those games coming against conference foe Eastern Michigan over the weekend. The team split the first 2 games of the series, and then the Cats' late inning rally fell short, losing 4-3 in the series to the Eagles. The Cats are 17-17 and head to Marshall tomorrow with first pitch set for 3 p.m. Sweeps are the theme of the weekend, but this time the Cincinnati Reds were on the wrong side of it. Pick up the action in the second inning. Harrison Barter take Homer Bailey Yard, his first of the year. Cards up 2-0. Fast forward to the 8th. Billy Hamilton, trying to rally the Redlegs, sends this one out to left field bleachers to get them on the board. Last chance for the Reds. Hamilton flares this one out to left, but it's Bader who makes the running catch, and the Cards complete the 4-game sweep of the Reds. Reds head to Milwaukee tomorrow, trying to snap an 8-game losing streak. While the Reds were too busy getting swept, the Cleveland Indians were getting washed away by the rain. Action in the second. Francisco Lindor drills this ball into right field. Rajai Davis comes in to score. Tribe go up 3-0. But then after that, it was all Blue Jays. Teoscar Hernandez belts this one into center. Another Blue Jay comes in to score. Blue Jays win the only game of the series 8-4, with Saturday and Sunday's games both getting rained out. So much for the Cleveland Cavaliers thinking they could just flip on the playoff switch. It's safe to say the Cavs forgot the playoffs started. Early stretches of the game, Victor Oladipo, the breakout campaign continues. Easy 3-ball there, closing seconds of the first quarter. Lance Stevenson, how about this, the vicious slam. Pacers up 19 after the first, but here comes that Cavs second half push. Kevin Love hits the 3 and gets fouled. Cavs trailed by 7, but that's as close as they would ever get. Oladipo again from distance, game high 32 for him. The Pacers win this one in blowout fashion. They take game 1, 98-80. Game 2 of the series in the queue on Wednesday. Cavs fans were left disappointed, but if you stayed up late, you saw another throw on the ice in the nation's capital. Blue Jackets and the Capitals. Jackets stole game 1 on the road. Pickup action in the second period. Zach Werenski with the slapper and score. 3 unanswered goals by the Jackets gives them a 4-3 lead. Late in the final period, TJ Oshie, right in the heart of the defense, scores to tie the game. We head to overtime again, and it would be the same exact result. Werenski rips it, the puck gets deflected, and it's Matt Calvert who's there for the rebound. 2 straight overtime wins on the road for the Jackets. Game 3 and 4 will be played in Columbus. The series resumes tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. I'm Thomas Garvick, and that's it for sports. Lily, there's always a first for everything, and there was some history made at the Boston Marathon this weekend.
That's right, Thomas. For the first time in more than 30 years, an American woman has won the Boston Marathon. Desiree Linden is a 2-time Olympian who can now add marathon champ to her list of titles. Linden finished in an unofficial time of 2 hours, 39 minutes and 54 seconds in some pretty nasty weather. The 34-year-old took the lead from Kenya's Gladys Shesher minutes before mile 22 and never looked back. Let's take a final look at weather with Blake.
It's going to be a cold evening tonight in Athens if you're going out and about. Right now looking at 32 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. We do have some pockets of snow flurries and snow showers moving its way out of the area. So if you're going out and about tonight, you don't be surprised when you see those snow showers. Right now, we're under a freeze warning tonight issued by the National Weather Service until 10 a.m. tomorrow. That's because these unseasonably cold temperatures as we go about your evening tonight, with winds out of the west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow in Athens, looking at 47 degrees for high temperatures, with blustery winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. As we look about 7-day forecast, lots of sunshine going to be returning with some warm weather finally back into the Athens area.
Thanks, Blake. That does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Lily Bradley. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.